seems that you really loved my last videos where I showed you how you can use scraps to create beautiful and cohesive ephemera for your junk journals and your art journals. In the last video we made these tags, those cards, and a fun scene. In case you've missed the video, I have a playlist. I will link it for you down below in the description box. And of course, I want to show you some more possibilities to use up some of your scraps. Hi, I'm Susanne from Susie's Journal Adventure and welcome to a new video about using up your scraps. So this is the tub where I usually store my scraps. This is not a scrap, but obviously it was very easy for me to just store it in here. So as you can see, although I already made some projects using up some scraps, I still have enough to show you some more projects. So in today's video, I'm going to show you 3 more projects for your junk journals and your art journals using up some plastic material. And for the first project, I want to grab my laminating sheets and my laminator. So here are the laminating sheets. And my laminator is here on the floor because I don't have enough space to put it here on my desk. I know not every one of you has a laminator. Don't worry, the next 2 projects are without a laminator, but you might already have seen it on my Instagram. I love using my laminator and I laminate nearly everything. So, of course, today I have to laminate some paper scraps. So I don't know yet what I will later on do with the laminated scraps. I never know where the project ends when I start it. As always, I'm grabbing the scraps intuitively. You don't have to glue anything. You just position the objects that you want to laminate. Don't like this one. And I'm trying to, fill the whole space here of the laminating sheet, because what I already know is that I will cut down the sheet into smaller sizes. I love this one. You have to pay attention to the fact that you need a little bit of space here around the sheet so that later on in the laminator the 2 sheets can stick together. You have to make sure that, I don't know if you can see that in the camera, that you have a little bit of a border around here where you don't position your scraps. I have a border of approximately 1/2 centimeter around here, so that later on when I run this sheet through my laminator, it can stick here. It can glue the two sheets together. You know what I mean, I guess. This is still sometimes so hard for me to explain, so please bear with me. I'm from Germany, if you're new on my channel. So I'm really trying to explain all the things as well as I can. And it's okay for me if there are spots here where there is no paper. I think that adds to the interest. I have a little bit of confetti here. I won't add more things at this point. I will now run this sheet through my laminator. This is gorgeous, isn't it? This makes me so happy. Seeing all those colorful scraps together, laminated safely in one place. I love it. And by the way, please excuse my horrible fingernails, but I haven't had the time to remove the polish. This is a video not about my nails, obviously. This is a video about paper scraps. So let's make another one before we decide what we want to do with it. For the second sheet, I want to use up some of my tissue paper in my scrap bin. Not bin, tub, in my tub. And I have this tea bag on which I, made an image transfer. I have those jelly printed tissue paper pieces. This is a neutral one. This is a little bit thicker. This one, which I received in a Happy Mail. Add some color and highlights. I have those circles that I found also in my scrap tub. Let's run it through the laminator. This is the result, and it's a little bit translucent because of the tissue paper in between the two sheets of foil. So what do I want to do with them now? I mean, they are gorgeous as they are, aren't they? I could just store them as a whole piece and just look at them from time to time, and this would totally be fine for me because I love things like this. But of course I want to show you what you can do with them. And for that I'm grabbing an acrylic marker because I spontaneously decided to make some charms. So, or charms, or what do you call them? Some dangling bits and pieces that you can use on a charm or on a journal page. Yes, and I think I'm just doodling some hearts. And some other shapes. Who doesn't love wonky shapes? I will cut them out now. And this is a water-soluble marker. This is not an acrylic marker. Did I just say acrylic marker a few minutes ago? This is not an acrylic marker because I want to remove this when I cut out the shapes. This is kind of weird, isn't it? Yeah, now it's better. I mean, it's still wonky, but that's exactly what I wanted. Oh, and this is gorgeous as well. Since I cut out a piece from the inside of this sheet, you know, from the inner part of the sheet and not from the part where you still have a glued together border, you now have the situation that this wants to come off, and this, you can split the papers, because obviously the laminator couldn't glue together the two plastic sheets here, since here is everything filled, you know, with paper. I expected that, of course, because, you know, I work a lot with laminating sheets, and that's why I already planned to sew around the edges, and I'm going to do this with all the three pieces. So this is the result. I love it. And I love especially the thread here on the portion here where it is translucent and where there is no paper inside. That's so much fun. And now I want to add an eyelet to each of them. And by the way, if you don't have a sewing machine, you could, of course, just go in here where the paper went apart, you know, with a little bit of a liquid glue and glue the pieces together again. And of course, you could also hand stitch, you know. You could also staple. I mean, this would look really grungy as well. Some staples just around here. So now you just have to add, for example, a bulb pin. And you immediately have a journal charm. Let me show you how you can use it. So this is the journal that I made during the Art Journal Festival this year. I have a video with a flip through and a recap of this festival. It was just amazing. And I think I will find a place here. This is the same paper. This here is the same paper as this. Oh, this is a really cute charm. I love it. Oh. Then I also have those bulb pins with some beads. This would also look very nice. Well, I had to remove some of the beads here for this journal, but I think you get the idea. For this journal, for this heart. And I also have these, you know, really large, safety pins. And really, you know, sturdy. And I thought this would look so much fun as well. Maybe with a ball pin that I decorated. You can then add this, for example, as a journal charm here on a journal, or of course on a journal page. And this kind of safety pin would be a great way to store this ephemera. I love it. So you get the idea, I guess. You could do this with this, of course. This is not as sturdy as this one because the paper in here is not as thick as the paper that I used here, but it would definitely work. So then you have these leftover pieces, and of course you can cut out tag shapes here, sew around or not sew around the tag, staple on some ribbon. You could cut it down to size and just glue it into your journal with some tape here as an extra page. You could do anything with it. For the moment, I want to go on to the next project and show you some more ideas. So you can leave me a comment if I should do an extra video about how I use my laminated things. You know, I have those journal charms here. This is laminated lace. Bigger ones, smaller ones. Yeah, you know, leave me a comment if I should do a video about my laminated pieces. For the second project, I want to use some plastic packaging that I also store always. I never throw them away. I love working with plastic material, and except of course those laminating sheets, all the plastic that I use is recycled. This is all packaging that has already been used at least once. And you get those things which have this sticky, you know, flap here. This has a sticky flap as well. This one doesn't have a flap. This is just a, you know, pocket. Let's use at first the smaller one here. I hope you can see that because obviously it is translucent and it's really hard to see, but I hope it works. So let me grab my scraps again. For this project, I just want to fill those pockets with some scraps and make a little, you know, collage in here, basically. If you could see the mess on my desk at the moment, you would totally freak out. Oh, this is a fun piece. I was gifted this as well at the Art Journal Festival. If you're watching, thank you. I don't want to have a lot of scraps in here, just 3 or 4 fun pieces, maybe some cutouts. Oh, this is a hat from a, is this a sheep or a camel? Feel like I want to cut it out. Now it nearly looks like a horse, but I think it was a camel. How about this one on the back? No. So I'm really trying not to overthink. That's the most important thing for me when I start creating. Some more fun circles. And I happen to have this piece here laying on my desk. This is a cutout from a magazine. I don't know why this is here on my desk, but I guess it wants me to use it. So this goes inside the packaging as well. The packaging here has this slit here for hanging the product onto things in the shop, but that's no problem that this is here, and I'm really not Trying to overthink. Just layering the pieces intuitively. Not gluing them together. I could make a cluster on my desk and then add the cluster into this pocket, but I think if I do it like this, I can't work that perfectly as I would when I would glue the things together at first. I like it. What I'm doing now is I run this whole piece through my sewing machine with a messy stitch, and I won't go around the edges. I will go over the whole piece so that everything stays in place in the end, because right now this would move if I would just sew around the border. So this is the finished piece. Here my sewing machine went a little crazy with the thread in the beginning, but we're not thriving for perfection, do we? I went around randomly here. I didn't want to sew over the head here. I think this is so much fun. This is such a fun piece. You could now decorate it again as a tag. Maybe, you know, maybe let's do it. Let's see how it looks like when we add this ribbon here, or this fabric here. No, I actually don't like it. I don't like it. I mean, I could use anything else, a ribbon, for example, that I used here. That would be much more fun, but I guess since this is very thin here on the top, you know, somehow I can't explain why, but I don't like it. I would love to leave it as it is. You can tuck it in a pocket in your journal. You can glue it down as well into your journal with a tape. This is just a fun piece of ephemera now. So let's do one more. Let's add some thread inside. Here it is. Again, some messy stitching and the heart as the focal point here. And in no time, you used up some of your scraps. You have some fun pieces. Let's go to the third project. For the last project, I want to work directly in one of my journals. I think I haven't shown this journal yet. This is so much fun with this bubble wrap as the cover. So this is a real, you know, junk journal made from some magazine pages, leftover pieces, paper scraps, you know, painty papers, envelope, tissue paper, you name it. Let's at first make the thing that we then want to put in the journal. You only need some clear packaging tape, nothing fancy, the cheapest one that you have. So I'm turning the end a little bit around so that I can stick it here on my table or on the mat. Here as well. Then you have the sticky side facing up. And now we're making basically some collaged tape, but we leave spaces in between the paper scraps that we now add on top of the tape. So keep in mind the side that you later on will see in the journal when you glued the tape into your journal is not facing to you. So I want to see this pink side, so I have to glue it onto the tape like so. I'm not thinking, we are not thinking. I don't want to mess around with any glue. And that's why I'm paying attention to leaving space between the scraps. So I'm not planning to have a masterpiece here in the end. I only want to have a decorative piece that I can later on add onto a journal page. And at that time, I have no idea how that looks, obviously, because I can't see the back side. Let's see how it looks like. And let's see how it looks in the journal. Let's see how it looks like here. Yeah. So I'm just gluing it down, no thinking. Still have this one left. Let's add it here on this pocket. Guess I'm later on gluing this pocket into the journal, of course. And you immediately have, in no time, an interesting element that you can add anywhere you like. You don't need glue. And you could even store those tapes if you have anything left over. Just grab for example, a piece of the laminating foil. You can add this on top. A piece of parchment paper, baking paper, or this plastic sleeves where you can put your documents in or your, papers. And then you can add on the tape, and then you can use it whenever you want it to use. This is all for today's video. I had so much fun using up some more scraps that I have in my stash. I mean, obviously I still have enough scraps for some more videos. Leave me a comment. What is your favorite project? I love them all, but I think those hearts or those charms are so much fun. But I think these are my favorites. Thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely day, and I hope I can see you soon in my next video. Bye!